Let us commence part 2 of AS 16 borrowing cost. What we have done in part 1 practically is when or how to recognize the borrowing cost. What is borrowing cost? Interest or any other related cost which is directly related to borrowing of an asset will be termed as borrowing cost. Is it all right? So what we have learned is practically this. If there is an interest cost which is incurred during the period of production or manufacturing of asset, any type of asset, it might be stock, it might be fixed asset, then interest during this period can be capitalized. This was layman's understanding. Once the asset is put to use or is in a condition to put to use, then the capitalization will cease and the interest will be transferred to profit and loss account. What is the technical way of understanding it is how to recognize the borrowing cost. If this condition is satisfied, what is the condition? Borrowing cost, basically interest, directly attributable to acquisition, construction or production of qualifying asset. Now what is qualifying asset? Qualifying asset is an asset that necessarily takes a substantial period of time to get ready. So if I purchase an asset which is ready to use, I am not doing any crime. Just the thing is, interest related to the loan on that asset will be transferred to profit and loss account and will not be added to the cost of asset. If the conditions are satisfied, practically there are two. One, the asset should be qualifying asset. Number two, there should be borrowing cost. If these two conditions are satisfied, the cost will be capitalized and added to the asset. Now, whenever it is a fixed asset, try to concentrate, or whenever it is any asset, as per PPE, there are conditions. It should give you future economic benefit. It should be measurable. Then only it can be added to the cost of capital. And the same conditions are additional conditions in AS 16, which is borrowing cost. We were doing some of the questions of borrowing cost, and we will be continuing with that particular questions. One important question we are doing is question number 23. A good question. Ayush Limited. I hope all of you are your books are open, and it is on page number 19.9. Question number 23. Ayush Limited began construction of a building on 1st January. It obtained 3 lakhs special loan to finance the construction. So there is a building which was purchased on 1st Jan, and you have taken 3 lakhs rupees a special loan for it. Is it all right? It is general borrowing, specific borrowing, specific borrowing. To finance the construction on 1st January, and the rate of interest was at the rate of 12%. The company other outstanding 2 non-specific loan were 6 lakhs and 11 lakhs. Alright, so there are general borrowings also. What are general borrowings? 6 lakhs and 11 lakhs. 6 lakhs is at 11% per annum and 11 lakhs is at 13% per annum. We need to find out capitalization rate. Is it all right? What is capitalization rate? I will term it this as I, this as W, sigma IW divided by sigma W. Or what is average cost of borrowing this funds? How much are funds? 17 lakhs. What is average cost of borrowing? Is it all right? We will be doing, as I told you, in the chapter of cost of capital when we do finance. But right now, you can just take it for granted that it is average cost for this particular borrowings. Answer will be 6 lakh into 11% is 66,000. 11 lakh into 13% It is 1,43,000. This will be 2,09,000 divided by 17 lakhs. If you want answer in percentage, it should be multiplied by 100. It is 12.3% approximately. AS 16 terms this as capitalization rate. In finance, we will term it as weighted average cost of capital. Story will be used for general borrowing. Yes, as far as AS 16 is concerned. Now, this point is typical in this particular question. The expenditures that were made on building project. So this side is low. This full side is low. Now the building is qualifying asset, yes, because it is taking some construction time, and it will be practically taking what is that exact word is substantial period of time to complete the asset. Is it all right? And so building will be regarded as qualifying asset. The point is, on first day, you are not using the money. You are not using all this money for the period of first day. So these are general borrowings. Then when you are using it, try to concentrate. In January, you are using 3 lakhs. In April, you are using 3,50,000. In July, you are using 5,50,000, and in December, you are using 1,50,000. Assume they are beginning of the month. The building was completed on 31st December. All right. So the building started from 1st January, is completed on 31st December. 1 year, I am assuming it is a qualifying period or substantial period of time, and so it is a qualifying asset. Once it is qualifying asset, there is interest cost related to it. Now, sir, what is the interest cost? This is a specific interest cost. These are general interest cost. And we can find out the answer, what is the interest cost during this period, and capitalize it. Sorry. Try to understand what total borrowings or what total expenditure we have done on the asset. 3,50,000 total of this. It is 13,50,000. Is it all right? See, I am doing something which is incorrect. What loan I have borrowed specifically out of 13,50,000? 13,50,000. I am having specific borrowing of 3 lakhs. What is the rate of interest? 3 lakhs what was at 12%. 36,000 rupees. Is it all? General borrowing will be remaining. How much I might have borrowed from other sources or other capital, which practically I have not borrowed for the specific purpose, but for overall my business. That type of borrowing will be 10,50,000. What is the capitalization rate? Capitalization rate is 12.3%. Start. My answer will be 10,50,000 into 12.3%. It is 1,29,150. 1,29,150 rupees. Adding this to is my borrowing cost, should be capitalized. All right, this is what is my calculation. Believe me, it is incorrect, but I want answer from some of the student why this is not correct. What is the problem over here in calculation of this? Any student who can get an idea? Drashti? Your voice is not audible to me.
Yeah.
Okay, let me tell you. See, this 3 lakhs rupees in January was borrowed on 1st January. Expenditure was done on 1st January. So this 3 lakhs rupees loan is used for 12 months. Alright. This 3,50,000 rupees I would have taken from this general borrowings, but this 3,50,000 rupees in current year, the money which I have borrowed from this general borrowing, is it all right? From general borrowing, I have taken out the money, invested in my building, but it is on 1st April. So January, February, March are gone. So the interest practically should be calculated only of 9 months. Interest cannot be calculated of 12 months. Is it all right? So for this 3,50,000, we should calculate interest only for 9 months. For this, 1st July, we should calculate interest only for 6 months. And for this, we should calculate interest of only 1 month. Is it all right? So, as far as this 3 lakh is concerned, this 3 lakh is concerned, all right, we can do this 3 lakhs of 12 months interest at the rate of 12% into 12 divided by 12 will be 36,000 rupees. This is correct. Is it all right? But this is not correct. How to calculate this? I'll tell you. I have used 3,50,000 rupees from general borrowings. Yes, I have used 3,50,000 rupees from general borrowings at the rate of 12.3% because general borrowing rate is 12.3%. But this money is used only for 9 months into 9 divided by 12. Stop. Plus this 5,50,000 rupees I have borrowed from general borrowing at 12.3% will be used only for 6 months. This money is used only for 6 months. Then interest pertaining to 6 months only should be capitalized. Is it all right? Plus, see, someone would tell me, sir, this loan is borrowed for full year. So you will have to pay interest for full year. It is all right. Out of the total interest paid of full year, for this only 9 months interest will be capitalized. For this only 6 months interest will be capitalized. Remaining portion of interest will be transferred to profit and loss account. Are you getting it? I am not saying you will not incur the interest. You will incur the interest, but right now our point is what interest should be capitalized. And if this money is used for this particular building only for 6 months, then only 6 months interest should be capitalized. Remaining 6 months should be transferred to P&L account. Remaining is 1,50,000 into 12.3% into 1 divided by 12. And instead of this interest, we should be capitalizing this interest. This is into 12 divided by 12. So this answer is correct. I am refinding out this answer. 3,50,000 into 12.3% into 9 divided by 12 is equal to M plus. 5,50,000 into 12.3% into 6 divided by 12 is equal to M plus. 1,50,000 into 12.3% divided by 12 is equal to M plus. MRC is 67,650. 67,650. So total interest of general borrowing is this? No. Out of total interest, this much will be capitalized of general borrowing. What is total capitalization? 36,000 rupees interest on this loan and 67,650 rupees interest should be capitalized. Remaining interest paid should be transferred to P&L account, and this will be 1,03,650 rupees should be capitalized, that is added to cost of building. Let me just verify whether you are getting it or not. Hitarth.
Yes, sir.
So total interest on all the loan is 1,03,650. Total interest on all the loans is 1,03,650. Yes or no?
No, sir.
Then
Sir,
what is this 1,03,650?
Sir, 1,03,650 is only capitalized.
Yes, capitalized. Hitarth, can you tell me out of this general borrowings, we have capitalized 67,650, right?
Yes.
What is the total interest of this general borrowing?
So total interest 6 lakhs into 11.
6 lakhs into 11%, good. 66,000. Yes.
9,000.
Exactly. It is 2,09,000. Then what you will do with this remaining interest of 2,09,000 minus 67,650?
Debited to P&L.
Exactly. One lakh 41,350. 1,41,350 will be transferred to P&L. It's all good. This is nothing but concept of capitalization when the expenditures from general borrowings are done in a phase manner. Then this point is important. What we did incorrect was we totaled this and directly multiplied 12.3% is not correct. Because the expenditures are done at different point of time, it should be done at different point. Correct. So this is incorrect, this is correct. This should be marked as one of the most important question n numbers of times in a different way with different figures asked in examination. So a good question for understanding also and for the purpose of examination also. Question number 24 is your homework. Even 25 is your homework. 27 is your homework. 24, 25, 27. We are going to some of the important points. First, when to commence capitalization? And when the capitalization will cease. So what practically we are learning is what is the start date from which we should start capitalization and what is the end date on which we should end the capitalization. Start date very simple. When all conditions are satisfied. What are the conditions? There should be borrowing cost which should be directly attributable to the purchase, construction or manufacturing of an asset which is a qualifying asset. Alright. So believe me, if you understand in layman terms, what is the condition is the loan should be borrowed. See, you cannot write down this in examination because this is not a language which is used in AS60. But I am telling you when the condition will be satisfied. Because if the loan is not borrowed, there will be no interest cost and there will be no concept of borrowing cost. So capitalizing or whether transferring it to P&L account, the question does not arise. So when the loan is borrowed and the construction or purchase of asset is commenced, whichever is later. So when both the conditions will be satisfied, practically you can start capitalizing. Of course, this asset should be a qualifying asset. You should have actually incurred the interest cost. You have borrowed the loan, so you have actually incurred the interest cost. So practically when all conditions are satisfied. When the capitalization should cease, there is a good word written. When substantially all the activities necessary to prepare qualifying asset is completed. Try to understand, they are not saying it should be 100% completed. If some administrative work is pending, you should still stop your capitalization. Say full asset is ready, just accountant is there pending with a passing of journal entry. This cannot be a reason to continue capitalization. Your asset is fully ready, some administration part is pending, substantially all activities are completed, and so you should stop the capitalization. Any interest incurred between these two periods or borrowing cost incurred during this period should be capitalized. Of course, other conditions should be satisfied, that it should be qualifying asset and there should be benefit, it should be measurable. This all conditions should be satisfied. But the point is, the start date is when the conditions are satisfied. The end date is when substantially all the activities related to completion of that asset is satisfied. This is nothing but start and end. Start. One more point, which is activities during which asset is merely held and when no production or development take place. Interest should be transferred to profit and loss account, and this should not be capitalized. You're getting it? Try to concentrate. You started construction of building. Construction of building is a stop for 2 months because there were some restrictions from municipality. During that 2 months, you might have incurred the interest cost. That interest cost should be transferred to profit and loss account because at that particular period of time, there was no real construction going on. Try to understand, this sentence should be taken in a good sense. It should not be taken in a way that, say there is a slab construction going on. Now it is a tradition in India that you keep a 15 days gap after that slab is constructed so that it can be watered and everything can be done. that 15 days you can still capitalize the expenditure because your construction has not stopped. It is a part of process of construction that you need to give 15 days gap. So practically, what is the reason for cessation of the work? That is important to determine. But in true sense, if your work is at the stop, it is not starting because of some technical reason, then your capitalization should cease and the interest should be, or borrowing cost should be transferred to profit and loss account. These were some of the important points as far as AS 16 is concerned. We are going to next point, which is foreign currency exchange difference. Foreign currency exchange difference. Try to concentrate. I have taken a loan of $10,000 to construct a building in India. And building is a qualifying asset. What is the difference between previous all questions and this question is, here the loan is in foreign currency. The rate of interest was 5%. Rate of interest was 5%. At the end of the year, when you took the loan, the dollar rate was rupees 70 per dollar. All right. So this is the date on which you have taken the loan. At the end of the year, the dollar rate was 72 rupees per dollar. How much interest you will end up paying in the terms of rupees is $10,000 into 5%. This much dollar interest you need to pay. In terms of rupees, it is 72 rupees per dollar. Dollar will get cancelled. I'll be getting answer in rupees. Of course, I am paying it in dollars, but my cash outflow is practically rupees, which will be 10,000 into 5% into 72, which is 36,000 rupees. Is interest. Sorry. The question arises whether this interest can be capitalized. First, the loan which was borrowed was for purchase or construction of a qualifying asset. The answer is yes. Number two, is this practically $500? This is $500 converted into rupees. Is this $500 an interest cost? The answer is absolutely yes. AS 16 does not say that if you have borrowed money from foreign, that is from USA, you are practically, it is not your interest cost. It is your interest cost. You can borrow it in foreign currency and repay the loan. It might be cheaper in India. In India, the rate of interest might be 10%. Can this be capitalized? The answer is yes, if other conditions are satisfied. In this case, which we have taken, all conditions are satisfied. And hence, this is an interest cost, which is for the purchase of qualifying asset till the time the construction is completed. I am assuming the construction is still pending, or it took 1 year to construction. So I have taken interest of 1 year, and this can be capitalized. Alright. Let us go for a difficult point. And this is practically difficult to understand. Try to concentrate. you have taken, had you taken this loan from India, how much loan was required? $10,000. At the time, the rate was 72 per dollar when you borrowed the loan. So what was your requirement of money, or what money you have got when you have borrowed this loan, 7 lakh rupees? Is it correct? Had you taken this loan from India, your rate of interest might be 10%. Say this is SBI rate for such type of business. SBI gives you loan at 10% per annum. You might have ended up paying 70,000 rupees as interest. Correct. This is 70,000 rupees as interest. Just a minute. So where were we? This is $10,000. 70 rupees per dollar. 7 lakh rupees was required in terms of Indian rupees. Had you taken the loan from India, the rate of interest would be 10% and you would be end up paying 70,000 rupees. Try to concentrate this. What you would have paid if you have taken a loan from India, 70,000 rupees. What you are actually paying, 36,000 rupees. This is actually paid. Is 36,000 rupees. Starting. What is the benefit? 34,000 rupees is a benefit because you are taking loan. Just a minute. So what is benefit of loan? Benefit because you have taken loan from USA and not from India. This is a benefit. Sir, why we are considering this benefit? Because understand, we are going to go one step further. First, try to concentrate these 2 points. Number one, even if you have taken loan from USA and you are paying the interest, there is a borrowing cost, there is a qualifying asset, and this interest will be capitalized. Yes or no? The answer is yes. Because you have taken loan from USA and not from India, there is a benefit of 34,000 rupees. Historic. But this 10,000 rupees is a loan in terms of dollar, which was taken when the rate was 70 rupees per dollar. Is it all right? Now, remember we have done AS11. This is a monetary asset or monetary liability or monetary item. If this is a monetary item, this should be reported at closing rate. This should be reported at closing rate. If it is reported at closing rate, what is the rate? 72? That's all right. So it should be reported at 72. That's all right. So instead of reporting $10,000 at the rate of 70, it will be reported at 72. So there will be foreign exchange conversion loss of how much? 2 into 10,000, that is 20,000 rupees. All right. This 20,000 rupees is a loss. Remember AS11. If it is a normal transaction of an Indian business, this will be always transferred to profit and loss account. Alright. Now try to concentrate. Now this is AS11. Alright. This portion is AS11. This is purely AS16 because this cost can be capitalized. Alright. And this is AS11. This should be transferred to profit and loss account. Try to concentrate a merge of 11 and AS16. What is this loss? 20,000. What is the benefit? Because you have borrowed in foreign currency from here 34,000. Sorry. Then this full 20,000 which was to be transferred as per AS11 to P&L account will be now capitalized and added to cost. All right. Try to concentrate. Something which is to be transferred to P&L account as per AS11. Now AS16 says if there is a benefit as compared to Indian borrowings, then that portion of the benefit can be capitalized. So 34,000 maximum can be capitalized. Is it all right? Your maximum 34,000 can be capitalized. Now if this answer is 20,000, then only 20,000 can be capitalized. There is no other expenditure to be transferred to P&L account. So now, if there is no expenditure, nothing can be capitalized. Try to concentrate. If this figure was, let me take another figure. If this figure was 50,000, this figure, start. Then 34,000 will be capitalized. Remaining 16,000 will be transferred to P&L account as per AS11 normally. Start. This portion of 34,000 can be capitalized as per AS16. And this will be the treatment of 50,000 rupees which we have understood in AS11. Out of 50,000, 34,000 will be capitalized and 16,000 will be practically transferred to P&L account. Is it all right? This 36,000, there is no question it will be capitalized as per AS16. Here does not come a concept of AS11. This is a borrowing cost on qualifying asset should be capitalized. So what we have learned, try to concentrate. There is loan in foreign currency, the interest on which can be capitalized. Stop. There will be difference in interest because you have borrowed in foreign currency. Is it all right? That difference should be noted as, say, point number 1. Difference should be noted as point number 1. Is it all right? There will be loss on translation of principal of a foreign loan where we know how we know to calculate this. We have learned AS11. Start it. Then maximum of 1 out of these 2 figures. This answer will be terming it as 2. Maximum of 1 out of 2. So if 2 is 50,000 and 1 is 20,000, then 20,000. If 2 is 46,000 and 1 is also 46,000, then 46,000 will be capitalized. Will be more clear when we are doing some of the questions related to this. Let us go to one question which is having good idea of this. 46. Question number 46. 43 is homework. Same type of question, but we have term it as homework, and 46 is classwork. Raj and company took a loan of US dollar 20,000. At the beginning of the financial year for a specific project at an interest rate of 6% per annum. Payable annually. On the day of taking a loan, the exchange rate between the countries were 48. ₹48 per dollar at the beginning. This is just information which I am writing. The exchange rate at a closing of financial year is ₹50 per dollar. Started. So this is a closing rate. Is ₹50 per. The corresponding amount could have been borrowed by an Indian company at Indian rupee at an interest rate of 11%. So what is interest in India for the same company? Is 11%. Give the treatment of the borrowing cost in the books of. Try to concentrate. First, I am purely going to AS 16. Accounting Standard 16. Start it. Have I borrowed a loan of $20,000 at 6% interest? I will have to pay $1,200 as an interest. This $1,200 interest I'll be paying at the end of the year, where my rate is ₹50 per dollar. Dollar will get cancelled. What will be interest which I'll be paying at the end of the year? Will be this 20,000 into 6% into 50, which is 60,000 rupees. I will be paying at the end of the year 60,000 rupees. Sorry. Can this be capitalized? The answer is yes. Even if the loan is borrowed in foreign currency, the actual interest paid or payable is a borrowing cost. If it is for a qualifying asset, here we are assuming it is for a qualifying asset, then this amount can be capitalized. So there is no question over here of AS 11 as far as the 60,000 rupees is concerned. Starting. Second point is this. Had we taken a loan, let me first go to AS 11. What is the loan amount? $20,000. At what rate it is recorded already? 48. At the closing date, as it is a monetary item, it will be recorded at 50. Monetary items are recorded at a closing rate. Correct. Rupees 40,000 is a loss. As per AS 11, it should be transferred to P&L account. Wait a while. Sorry. What again AS 16 says, try to concentrate. Find out the benefit because you have borrowed in dollars. What is the benefit? What interest you are actually paying? 60,000 rupees. Excuse me. Had you borrowed the loan in India, what would be your interest? Had you borrowed the loan in India, what would be your actual borrowing? You would have borrowed $20,000 into 48, this much rupees, multiplied by 11%. Now you will say, sir, why you have taken a beginning rate? Because please try to understand, my requirement in rupees was this. All right. So I should be taking this rate. What would be answer? 20,000 into 48 into 11%. That is 1,05,600. 1,05,600 would be my cost if I had borrowed from India. My actual cost is this. My benefit is 45,600. My benefit is 45,600. Now, as the benefit is 45,600 and as per AS 11, this was to be transferred to PNL account. This will not be transferred to the PNL account. Maximum of 45,600. It is not 45,600. It is maximum of 45,600 would be capitalized. Here the actual amount as per AS 11 is 40,000. So this 40,000 can be capitalized. I'm talking about this 40,000. Try to concentrate. 40,000 as per AS 11 was to be transferred to PNL account. But if this figure can be capitalized. What is this figure? 45,600. So out of this 40,000, 40,000 can be capitalized. Sorry. Once again, if this figure was 60,000, I'll be asking to one of the students, if this figure instead of 40,000, this figure instead of 40,000 was 60,000 in the same question, this answer came to 60,000. Drashti, can you let me ask to another student. Aman, can you help me out?
Sir, then only 45,600 should be capitalized.
45,600 will be capitalized and remaining, let me give you
And
answer. It is
debited to-
14,400.
Debited to PNL.
It will be debited to PNL account. 14,400 Aman debited to PNL account under which AS?
Under AS 11.
Exactly, under AS 11. 45,600 transferred or added to cost of asset or capitalized under which AS?
AS 16.
AS 16. That's all right. And this 60,000 will be still capitalized?
Yes, it will be capital.
Under
because
which
it's
AS?
borrowing cost. Under AS 16.
Under AS 16. Is it right? So here, see what is interesting is AS 11 was saying that this should be transferred to PNL account. Now AS 16 comes in between and say that, okay, you have decided to transfer it to PNL account, but we are now overruling you and saying you that the benefit portion should be capitalized and not be transferred to PNL account. Is it all right? So in this case, this was just an fictitious example that we have taken. In this case, this 40,000 will be capitalized. And total capitalization of cost as per AS 16. What was original one? 60,000. What was that AS 11 saying PNL account and now we are capitalizing is 40,000. Total capitalization will be 1 lakh rupees. This amount will be added to cost of. Are you all getting it? This is what is told by AS 16, which you need to understand. Is it all right? This portion is good. This portion is good. What is the total AS 11 saying to be transferred to PNL account? 40,000. Wait a while. Maximum of 45,600 can be capitalized. So you can capitalize whole of your 40,000. And as Aman told, if this figure, what AS 11 is saying to transfer it to PNL account, 60,000. Maximum of 45,600 to be capitalized. So 45,600 will be capitalized and 14,400 as per AS 11 normally will be transferred to profit and loss account. Any doubts up till this stage? Otherwise, I'll be asking you down. Yes, Drashti.
In that third point, you told that beginning rate should be taken because due to requirement.
Yes.
As it is monetary item, we should not take 50.
All right. Can you explain me by this calculation which I'm circling, we have got which answer?
45,600.
No, 1,05,600 first. Sorry. What is 1,05,600? Try to understand. 1,05,600 rupees. What is this? Try to concentrate. Had we borrowed money from India, what would be my cost? Alright. So there does not come a concept of monetary item and non-monetary item. Monetary and non-monetary comes into picture when you borrow in foreign currency. When you are borrowing, believe me, even when you are borrowing in foreign currency, your total amount received will only be this. Because today the rate is 48. Sorry. What would be the answer? 48, 20,000 into 48. Will be 9,60,000 rupees, which you have received today. Is it alright? So you have received 9,60,000 rupees today, even if you have borrowed in foreign currency. Now interest you will be paying at 50 rupees per dollar because at the closing rate is this. Is it alright? Now you say me, should I take in this case 50? Answer is no. Why? 50 is the closing rate of foreign currency. This you are finding out, had you borrowed it in India, then what would be my rate? Is it alright? Or what would be the amount of interest which I would be paying to Indian bank, that is SBI. When you have borrowed from SBI, when you are paying interest to SBI, there is no question of monetary item and non-monetary item because now AS 11 will not be applicable. Start it. Just is this clear? All right. Any other student? Any other question? All right, let me ask you a question. Concentrate over here. Your benefit because you have borrowed from India, because you have borrowed from USA instead of India is 45,600. Start it. As per AS 11, 40,000 was to be transferred to PNL account. But now it will not be transferred to PNL account. This 40,000 as per AS 11 will not be transferred to PNL account and will be added to cost of asset. This 40,000. My question is why? I absolutely understand that it is said by AS 16. I want any other answer except this. Except AS 16. What is the reason why? Why AS 16 says so that this amount instead of transferring it to PNL account now should be capitalized? Any student trying will be also absolutely all right. Huh? It is not that you need to give me exact correct answer. Getting a correct answer from a student without understanding the logic, I don't think it is even possible. But you may try it out. Hitarth?
No, sir, no idea.
No idea. Abhishek? Thinking. Drashti?
No, sir.
Any idea?
No.
Aman?
Sir, it might be because the 40,000 is the benefit like that we occurred because we have taken loan from the foreign bank.
Okay.
So by saving this, by taking loan from foreign bank, we have saved our money, so it should be capitalized.
Okay. All right. First, you need to understand why this is capitalized. This is capitalized because this is an interest which is paid during the period when your qualifying asset was being constructed. So any expenditure which is done at that point of time should be capitalized. That's correct. Why this should be transferred to P&L account? Because ES 11 says that any normal transaction, any loss which is happening due to foreign exchange currency fluctuation should be transferred to P&L account because it is normal your day-to-day loss. Is it all right? Now understand, everything is happening during that period when you are constructing your qualifying asset. At that point of time, this expenditure was done. This is an expenditure during that period. Is it all right? Is being transferred to P&L account because it is your day-to-day expenditure. Is it all right? But understand, this expenditure happened because AS 11 was applicable, and AS 11 was applicable because you have taken a loan in foreign currency. Otherwise, if you have taken loan in Indian currency, AS 11 would not be a question. Now AS 11 saying you it should be transferred to P&L account, but understand why. Because you have taken a loan in foreign currency, but because you have taken a loan in foreign currency, there is a gain of 45,600 which you are ignoring. You are not actually receiving it, but understand your interest cost is lower. Instead of 1,05,600, your cost is only 60,000. So you are getting a benefit of 45,600 by taking that foreign currency loan. Then loss on taking that foreign currency loan should not be transferred to P&L account. You are taking foreign currency loan during that period because you can save some interest. So that saving of interest should be capitalized as a cost of asset, Try to understand, otherwise what would have happened? This 40,000 would have gone to P&L account. Is it all right? Try to concentrate. What are your losses? 40,000 rupees as per AS 11. It's all right. Interest loss or cost 60,000 rupees as per AS 16. These are the two major costs. Is it all right? This would be capitalized as per AS 16. This would have been transferred to P&L. But now what AS 16 says, this loss has happened because you have taken foreign currency loan. Because you have taken foreign currency loan, there is a benefit of say 45,600. Is it all right? So this 40,000 cost should be treated as a part of cost of interest and should be capitalized instead of P&L account. Sorry. You need to give your time some 10-15 minutes to think why it is capitalized rather than just mugging up what amount should be capitalized. Is it all right? Have a view on this lecture 2-3 times, you'll understand what I'm trying to say. Is it all right? If there is a loss which is normally transferred as to P&L account, treating it as a day-to-day expenditure, but that loss is because you are taking a loan from foreign currency, and foreign currency, because you are taking loan, there are some benefits which are indirectly happening. Then that benefit portion should be capitalized and not transferred to profit and loss account. This is foreign currency. We have done even one question, that is question 46. We are directly going to AS 16 disclosure requirement. All right, let me write it down over here. Disclosure requirement. Number one, accounting policy. Which you are using to capitalize your asset. And number two, borrowing cost capitalized. Should be disclosed. So what is accounting policies, accounting methodology, and accounting principles which are used to determine whether it was qualifying asset, whether it was not qualifying asset, whether it was borrowing cost, whether it was not borrowing cost, and you need to decide disclose your accounting policy. Also, total borrowing cost which is capitalized is to be disclosed in your books of accounts. Is it all right? This is disclosure requirement as per AS 16, and we are ending accounting standard 16, that is borrowing cost.